Hi everyone, welcome back to week 9 session. So let's start with a week 8 recap, a quick recap. In week 8, we saw what is generative AI. And basically you all, as a senior map student, you must be using generative AI in one or the other form, which I can understand and I'm aware of. So how do you use your generative AI today? Probably in the form of text majority, or maybe generate images or upload an image and analyze an image, or to generate music, or to do some homework and mathematical solving some mathematical problems, or generating code. So whatever it is, you could be using it in different shapes and forms and modalities. What is meant by a modality? The different forms the models are dealing with is called a modality. The modalities can be text in the shape of characters and numbers, or it could be images, or it could be code or videos as such. So this is day-to-day way of using generative AI for you. But let's understand a little bit and how smartly we can use generative AI in our life. Why understanding generative AI is critical? Because the moment you understand and decipher how things work, you will be able to use it in a better way. Number one, the way you question or the way you interact with the large language models or these chat interfaces like Claude or ChatGPT will improve. By improving, what does it mean? We will ask the right questions and we will end up getting the right answers without going back and forth. The reason why we don't want to go back and forth is not just waste of time and effort, it is also the cost. So the number of tokens that are sent to a large language model or these chat interfaces, and also the number of tokens or the responses it generates, it involves cost. It involves money. So let's not make mistakes, or avoid mistakes basically, and build cooler projects. That's the purpose of why we need to understand generative AI. All right, so what does creating prompts mean? What does creating compelling prompts mean? There is a way or interaction that we can actually adopt for us to make a better choice to give information to these models. I call this as CLEAR method. It is an acronym, as you can see. C stands for context, L stands for length, E stands for example, A stands for audience, and R stands for role. So keep in mind, whenever you are interacting with a model, you need to have all of these elements present in your prompt. So giving a complete context will help your chat interface or large language model to get a better understanding of what you are asking. Are you asking about a scenery in a river bank, or are you asking about a question about a commercial bank in your city? The length of the responses that you are expecting. It could be 150 words, or it could be 3 paragraphs, or it could be a research analysis and research output. Or it can be made better by giving an example of like what is that you expect and providing some samples of your response expectations. You are in a position to actually avoid back and forth conversations. And also mentioning about audience. Are you dealing with teaching children who are under like 5 to 10 years, or you're dealing with an adult, or are you dealing with a beginner level audience, which is very important when you're actually preparing your content and generating input accordingly. And also the role. What is your role? Am I a teacher? Am I a researcher? Or am I a thought leader? Or am I a student, right? So it is important to provide all these bells and whistles and information to the model so that the model can actually give you an appropriate and compelling results to you, so you don't have to go back and forth, and also eliminate cost, improve productivity, and also achieve your results in an appropriate way. So let's look into an example. So look at this prompt, right? So in the left hand side, what you see is a basic prompt, and I would like to give you a very, very simple example. Write a story, right? So if you're going to give this as a context to a large language model, what are you going to get? You're going to get a random output, right? So, but whereas if you actually provide a very detailed prompt, an engineered prompt, which you see in the right hand side of, hey, you are a patient high school science teacher, explain how photosynthesis works within 120 words and assume the students know basic biology but have never studied chemistry. So blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to read everything. So, but the whole intent or the purpose, what it is actually defining is, it's giving you a complete context and length of the output and example of like how this should look like, a sample analogy. For example, it is an improvisation that it can actually address it in the similar way. And also the audience are high school students, and your role is actually a high school science teacher, right? So it gives a complete clear, which is a context, length, example, audience, and role. So the large language model knows, Claude or ChatGPT knows exactly what you're asking. So copy and paste this prompt and go to the LLM of your choice and try these prompts. This is going to give you a complete nice output so that you get the response which you desire to see on the very first shot itself. All right, so I'm going to talk about a little bit in deeper about what is meant by different types of prompting. Is there any other different standards of prompting? Yes, there are plenty of different standards of prompting techniques exist. I'm going to give you one more choice or one more option for you to get a better understanding. So when you're actually expecting the large language models to give you a specific nail down a format and output, hey, you can give examples. So you don't have to worry about like how my output is going to look like. For example, in Canada, we follow a different data output format, right? So it is basically like, we follow day, month, and year. But whereas if it is actually in US, they follow a different date format technique. They typically follow month, date, year format. So, and if you go to different parts of the world, the outputs are generated in different formats as well. So how can we handle that the Claude or ChatGPT knows what is your desired form of date format output? Because there is nothing wrong in any of the formats, but then what is desired is important, right? So then you can actually provide an example of, hey, this is how I want the date should be in the output that you generate for me. So this is called few shot prompting. In the same way, you can also define your output. Hey, always summarize this in this format. For example, start with an introduction, give me a summary of details in a bulleted format, and then finally end with a conclusion. And before concluding, give an action item for it, or to do for someone, homeworks for someone, or TLDR as an outcome, right? So this is some way of actually giving a structure to your output so that you are actually giving an input of what the expected format that you desire to see from the large language model. All right, so let's look into how do we get this in the best possible way. So it is, again, right, it's going to be, prompting is going to be like not a vending machine. Basically, like you punch in a choice and then put in a card, and then the output comes and that's it, right? So it's typically like cycle doesn't repeat. But in a typical LLM or in the world of models, you may not actually get the best output on the first time. So you draft and make it refine it, add validation, or expand the concepts that you want, or you want to make it better, and then rephrase it and rewrite it, provide options, and then finally you come to a conclusion. Okay, this seems to be a better one, and I'm going to continue to use it. But again, what happens is it's never once you set and forget, because as the models keep evolving, your output also might actually change. And yes, the output generated by the model, is it always grounded to your expected outcome? That's called closeness to your reality and outcome, which is very important. So what happens is you need to continuously see, measure, and tweak that these prompts are giving a proper appropriate output. Okay, so all that you need to understand is prompts can be engineered, and the moment you engineer your prompts, you are controlling what you were seeing as a result, and you can iterate this process and make it better. You can give examples and make it better. That's the crux of what we learned until now. All right, so I want you to introduce an amazing topic called vibe coding. I don't know how many of you have heard about vibe coding, but this is a very cool way of actually bringing an idea into a live app or a live implementation. So what vibe coding needs? The fundamental requirement for a vibe coding is learning to prompt, which we just learned now. So we are going to use vibe coding using prompting to bring an idea to life. So what do we do if we want to build an app in older or like prior to vibe coding? So we basically learn the syntax of a programming language or a web interface structures, right? So for example, HTML, CSS, or front end like JavaScript, Node.js, lots of stuff we learn. Don't worry about all these technology stuffs. We are not going to use them anyway right now for vibe coding. So you're going to pass on everything and then move into vibe coding. So we are not going to deal with all of this for months, and we are not going to get confused with all the error messages we get when we are developing and fixing and testing the code. What we are going to do is basically describe what we need in very simple plain English, which you all know today. And what happens is this instructions, this summary or the information that you provide, AI takes that in as an input and generates the code instantly. You don't have to lift your fingers. It's going to generate all the code for you and come up with the output. Again, if it gets into an error, you can ask AI to fix itself. And again, what this leaves you with is, it gives you immense time to think about what is the idea or what is the problem that you would like to solve, rather than worrying about the technology behind that. So it's a very good way of actually bringing an idea to life and test your idea if this idea works, if this problem that does exist in today's world. And what you can do is, it's a 3-step process. We're going to see this together now. So first step is to describe the problem. Okay, it can be a small quiz application that you would like to build, and the AI is going to build exactly the app that you are asking. The AI builds this as the second step. And the third step is, you can look into the output and see, oh, I think I like these 2 features and I would like to add more, or I would like to add an interaction additionally, or I want to actually change the color. I don't like this color. I want to keep it like generic. Like I don't want to look like purplish. I don't want to look like bluish. I want to keep it like generic, right? So plain white or black, and keep them neutral as such, right? So it's up to you to change what you want and iterate. Again, going back to the previous topic we saw, it's about iteration, right? So you see the output and then refine it until you get into the desired outcome. All right, so let's jump in and build a vibe code and build an app using vibe coding. So to do this, we are going to use a tool called Lovable. Lovable is a platform where you can actually build your app, and it comes with a very limited free version, and this free version you will be able to use to bring your idea to life. All right, so let's get started, and this is going to be cool. So this is a 5-step process. First step is to go to lovable.dev, and what we are going to do is to create an account. And again, this account is going to be free, and you can use your Gmail to create an account and then start the project. Click on new project, and this is going to help you start the project. Before you get onto the start a project, it's going to ask you a few questions about who you are, what you do, are you building it for a team, etc. So just keep answering them and go ahead, and then use a prompt. Whatever the problem that you're trying to solve, create a very nice clear prompt, and then input the prompt to Lovable. Let it run and generate the code. The 4th step is to review the output and iterate if you want to make more enhancements. And if you're done and happy, that's when your code is ready. You can publish, you can export it to GitHub, or you can share it with your friends. And after publishing, the link is available for everyone to look into it. All right, so let's jump into lovable.dev and start looking into creating an app. Okay, so jumping back. Right, jumping back. So I'm in lovable.dev. I'm going to log in and create an account now. So click on login. So I'm going to use continue with Google, and here I am. So I'm going to use one of these accounts. Okay, so it's going to ask, do you want to continue? I'm going to hit S. So it's going to automatically log in using the Google account. Here I am. It's asking me, do I need a light mode or dark mode? I'm going to choose the light mode. And it's going to ask me a name, so I'm going to give me my name Raji. It's your choice. You can keep it or as it is. And then who are you? Are you a designer, engineer, consultant, operation? So I'm going to give others. I want to specify, are you a team? So no, I'm not a team, I'm a solo. So I just answered basic questions. So here I am in the Lovable interface, so don't worry about all these options. So we're going to just use this prompt window to generate our app. Simple, very simple. So before going there, I'm going to just take this sample prompt which I created and enter this prompt. So here I am. I'm copying this. Click copy and go here. All right, so I pasted this prompt. It's going to create a to-do checklist app, and you can see, like, hey, before we're jumping in and creating, these are some of these templates which Lovable have published. So you can even look into those and then, like, create a copy of it and start from what you want, where you left. And then there are two modes available. One is the build mode, which means, like, I know for sure this is my prompt. I don't have to work on, like, planning and then jumping into build. I'm ready to build, so I'm going to just start building. So I'm hitting the enter, start to build. So now this is going to take a while, a little bit of time, because the prompt is going to be fed into the model, and the model is going to analyze and call different tools and call different programming connectors, and generate the whole output, which is an app for you. Isn't it cool? We are actually generating an entire app and without lifting a finger, right? So we just gave the prompt of, like, hey, I'm a grade 10 student, blah blah blah, and I want to create a student planner app. That's all we said, and we gave a little bit of additional context on how the design should look like, and what is the persona should be tracking, what are the tasks, like timetable view and homework tracker, etc. So this is what it actually is expected as an outcome. So now the Lovable.dev is actually generating the output. So this is so cool, groundbreaking, right? So once this capability or this kind of platform started evolving approximately maybe a year or year and a half back, and look how it has democratizing the whole app development or coding to everyone. So I'm sure you all might have remembered, like, we started with Python declaring a variable, etc. So all of this programming, imagine now it is actually getting fully automated, and you have an agent which is actually have the capability to develop a fully functional app without lifting a finger. Isn't it amazing? So I know it is taking a little bit of time, but we are there. It's going to be out soon, and I bet you will be super excited. All right, so speaking of the next steps, so I want you all to give it a try. So when I say give it a try, give it a honest try. So it doesn't have to be a student planner app. It could be of anything of your choice. You are a gamer, go ahead and actually prompt something to develop a game. Or if you are a person who are into fitness, like, fitness tracker, or if you're a person who's into art, music, then create an app around how it can actually serve your community or serve your needs on art or music or any kind of capabilities you would like to explore, right? So there is no dearth of possibilities. Like, it's your imagination. So there is no limit to what you can achieve with this. So you can do anything, and predominantly that's going to serve you in plenty of ways. So what next? This is taking additional little bit more time, but we're almost there. Yes, I think it is there. It's verifying the UI components. Cool. It's creating the logs. You're almost there. All right, here it is. Hi, it's so exciting. I like the color theme, man. It's so cool. Look at this. It has a weekly view. It has homework section, to-do section. Oh wow, I love it. It's exciting to see. All right, so this is our code, and then what we can do is to ask another additional capability of, like, so we can click on this add homework and click additional homework can be added, or I go to the week view. So yeah, so we can add a lesson plan to add. I want to add something of let's say science, and change the color code whichever I want. Okay, see, it changed. And go to homework, add a homework, and I can say, like, I have a practice coming up. So it's going to go ahead and add this practice in next 2 days, and we can have our own to-do list. This is cool, isn't it? So if you like it, everything looks good, I'm going to hit preview, which we are right now. to look into the preview mode. But if I like it, I want to share it with others, it's one click away. Publish your project. This is going to generate a link for you, and you will be able to share it with others. Okay, so click OK, continue, and say public. And okay, yeah, you have a description. If we have an icon, we can upload an icon. It's going to show along with an icon, but for now we're going to just skip this and click continue and publish. It's also doing a security scan, basically, like, passwords are not sent out, or any of this critical information is not leaked, and no services are giving away any of your data or backend integration. Nothing is going out for hackers. That is something it's taking care. So once we publish, the URL will be ready. You see this URL, that's a link for your app. So I can copy, and then let's say I open a brand new browser, and here I am. Okay, so here I am, brand new browser. I go hit this. Cool. So this is available as a separate app. So I can hit on these options, and I'll be able to look into whatever I want to do and share and test it further as well. So it has simplified your end-to-end app development in just one click away. All right, so let's get back to the presentation. So, all right, so we are almost at the end of the session. So my request to you is to make your own app, build your app. So you can pick your theme. It can be like a game, or it can be a money management tool, basically like, managing your allowances, managing your expenses kind of an app. Or it could be like a habit tracker, like you want to get better at your homework, or you want to get better at your exercise and routines, which is very important. And habits are something that's going to build you a character and become better at your life in future. So you pick your theme. There is no limitation that it has to be one of them. You can come up with another own theme of yours as well. So build an app. We're going to meet next week and look into your app and review and have a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching. See you next week. And I'm excited to see your app. All right. So when you're ready with your demo, we will get to give an option for every single one of you to show off. What is a show off? All of you will get 1 to 3 minutes to show and demo your app. Don't worry about the interface or the kind of code it generates. Focus on the problem. The app functions end to end, and also your features that you define and how you explain the features to your app or interface is important. See if you are using a clear prompt, and at least iterate a couple of times. What I mean iterate is, once the app gets developed, did you go back and refine it further? Did you provide additional input to make it better? So try that and see how it goes. All right, so look forward to your demo next week. All the best.